The European Commission has finally come down on Google. Europe's Antitrust Commissioner has brought a formal complaint against Google's search practices, alleging Google stifled competition and harmed consumers by systematically favoring its own comparison shopping product in its general search results pages. This comes after a 5-year investigation into Google in Europe that started when rival internet companies claimed Google had abused a dominant position in online search. The rivals claim Google did this by putting its own site at the top of search results over results that led to competing companies, including Yelp and Microsoft. Recode says it obtained an internal memo to Google employees that laid out some of Google's arguments against the allegations. The memo reads, in part, competition online is thriving, despite what many of the complaints in this case allege. Google is especially dominant in Europe, where it is used by about 90% of the search engine market. In the US, Google's share is closer to 67%. Last month, a report revealed Google just barely missed a similar lawsuit in the US. The Wall Street Journal reported officials at the Federal Trade Commission recommended suing Google in 2012 for some of its practices and said the company used anti-competitive tactics and abused its monopoly power. In the end, the FTC commissioners dropped the investigation after Google agreed to change some practices. Those revelations made critics call on Europe to be tougher on the internet giant. Yelp's VP for Public Policy told the New York Times it is why Europe's investigation of Google has so many US companies support. If Google is found guilty in Europe, the company could face a fine of as much as $6.5 billion and restrictions on future operations. Google now has 10 weeks to issue a formal response to the Commission's complaint ahead of the first antitrust hearing. A law professor told the Wall Street Journal a decision on Google's case could be expected by the end of the year. For Newsy, I'm Matt Moreno.